Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome.
Ooni of Ife allegedly wants Igbe and Ebony return for immunity removal or publicly denounce my name. Our people say, the God that is destined to die will not hear the shepherd call. They have warned them time and time again to stop pushing this man. He may be very, very kind. He may be the kind of king that goes to an event and sees 30 chiefs seated. He goes round to shake hands with the whole 30 chiefs without, minding his position, his height. He believes that he is created by God and his life depends on God. And God can decide to take it anytime. That explains the reason why he doesn't even use a wristwatch. No matter what wristwatches have been given to him, he wouldn't use them because he believes in God. He's a very humble king. They told them, look, do not take his humility for, granted. Do not take his humility for granted. If you do take his humility for granted, don't be shocked with what might be the outcome of it. Listen to his counsel. Stop doing things that hurt him. They refuse. They say they have come to the palace and their number one reason for being in the palace is to ensure that Olori Naomi doesn't return back to her matrimonial home. You forget that there is no man in this world that has the capacity to fight God. You cannot. You don't even have that capacity. Yes. Now they say that the Ooni of Ife called for a private meeting with the elders and representatives from the families of Igbe and Ebony. It was not a discussion filled with long greetings or distraction. He went straight to the point. He told them clearly that the matter of immunity removal was no longer something to be delayed or negotiated as they tried to beg. He said, no, it can no longer be negotiated. One person's immunity has been removed. Why? What do you want me to tell the world? He said both Igbe and Ebony must return to the palace to face the process, or they must publicly renounce his name and declare that they no longer have any connection with him. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dolaram. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources still on the royals. How are you guys doing, my lovers? Dela writes, how are you guys doing? I appreciate you guys so much. You know that saying thank you to you can never be overemphasized. Dela writes, I love you guys. Thank you. Esheo and Dukbeo, my people. They said he explained that they could not remain outside the palace using his name and position to shield themselves from consequences while refusing to face the same traditional accountability that applies to everyone. He said it was either they come back or they came back willingly to complete the immunity removal, or they remove his name from their lives entirely. And this did not go well with anyone. The elders shifted uncomfortably as they spoke. Some of them tried to suggest a softer approach, but he interrupted them. He told them this was not about revenge, but about setting a standard in the palace. He said there had been too much disorder and disrespect in recent times, and that the palace could not function properly if people thought they could run away from traditions or behave the way they are just because they are his wives. He is not going to let that happen anymore. Not now, not ever, not in the palace of Oduduwa. This is not a small something happening right now. He asked them to carry this message to Igbe and Ebony without changing a single word. He warned that if they chose to keep hiding, they should never again speak his name or claim any association with the palace. He said this would not be a quiet matter. If they refused, the palace would make an official statement to the public and to the traditional council confirming that they had renounced his name and no longer had the privileges they once enjoyed. He went ahead to tell them that immunity removal is just for the sake of peace and, and you know they held the fair health of the palace, that women cannot use this covering and continue to do misbehave anyhow in the palace. That from time immemorial, removing immunity does not mean they are no longer his wife. They will be his wife. They will live in the palace with him, and everything remains the same, apart from certain privileges. And one of those privileges happens to be his own covering on them. They will stay in the palace. They will attend events like before together. They will be together. You will see them laugh together, smile together. And if it's just that Kabiyesi doesn't hug in public, they would have been seen hugging in public. It doesn't change anything. The only thing is that if you misbehave in the palace, you suffer the consequences by yourself, and it's not going to be a general consequence like that will affect everybody. That he was, made Kabiyesi for his people, not just for his Oloris. He's not going to sit down and be judging cases every minute, every day, and, trying to do cleansing today, tomorrow I'm doing this cleansing and all of that, because they will not listen. And right now, if they really want to be with him, they must come for immunity removal. Now, why the hell are they running away? They are running away because they are unrepentant. They don't want to stay away from all of this evil that has been going on. They said the family members were visibly uneasy. They knew how heavy such a statement would be in the community. It will not just affect Igbe and Ebony, but also reflect on their family's reputation. They asked the Ooni of Ife if there was still any chance to settle the matter quietly, but he repeated that the only way to settle it was for the two women to return and immunity be removed. They say some relatives tried to explain that Ebony had left the palace because of fear and shame, while Igbe had been struggling with the humiliation of the whole process. The Ooni of Ife, listened but did not change his decision. He said, fear and shame were not reason to disobey tradition. He reminded them that when they accepted the palace position and the immunity, they also accepted the rules that govern them. The atmosphere in the room was tense. The Ooni of Ife's voice remained calm, but the firmness in his tone made it clear that there was no more room for negotiation. The elders promised to deliver the message exactly as he had given it. They stood up slowly, exchanging brief glances with another. After they left, the palace remained quiet. The Ooni of Ife stayed seated for a while, speaking briefly with a few senior chiefs who had been present. He told them that if Igbe and Ebony still refused to return, the palace should be prepared to carry out the public, renouncement immediately. He said he would not allow this matter to drag on or be used as a tool to challenge his authority. The wahala don strong oh. They said by the time families left the palace, they understood the weight of what they had been told. It was now up to Igbe and Ebony to decide, return and face the immunity removal, or lose the name and the status forever. And you and I know that this name and status is something that they will fight with forever. They are not ready. Hey, who wants to lose that kind of status, okay? Not just for yourself, for your children. Before they made this kind of decision and made this kind of sacrifices, they had made up their mind that, look, this is where I want to be. I want my children to be born with pedigree and all of that. And that is the reason why a lot of people will do everything that is within their power to be part of the high and mighty. And now you're telling them the status should be removed? No. They ran away. Oh. They said they are not going to come. But right now, with the way things are going, it does seem as if they will surface and that immunity be removed. Because at the end of the day, it's just few people who gets to know this. And it would be worse if there is an announcement, an official announcement. But if I think they will come back with the message that Kabiyesi has sent across. I'm going to bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.